Good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Toxic Boys, episode 6. Ari from Manhattan,
Jesus Christ. Pulling out the garbage bags.
Jay from Florida, and Poppa Left in the building.
On the brown paper bag, man. You know, these kids don't know what the brown paper bag is. They just started watching Knicks 5 days ago. You got to explain what brown paper bag is. Educate.
I can't even show my face right now, man. I'm so disgusted with what's going on. Welcome to all y'all in the chat. Shout out Suffering Knicks fan, JJ from Brooklyn. CT Pittman, what's up? Mastodon, what's the deal? So it sounds like the whole timeline's all of Knicks Twitter is Toxic Boys these days. Crazy. Right. What are your thoughts, Jay?
Listen, man, this team, we've been consistent in our takes for the last 3 years, give or take, 2-3 years. Nothing has changed with our takes. We've been consistent. We've always had a main goal of this team winning the championship. If we ain't getting to the championship, if we're not getting to the playoffs, we don't care. We don't care. It's been the same shit. It's been the same shit product that we've seen year after year. These guys, the Leon Rose front office is just winging it. So eventually, if we all can get together as a fan base and get these guys out of here and have the same narrative, we might be able to get something done. This pom-pom waving shit that people want to get into after a win. If they win tonight, you come on your space tomorrow or your podcast and start waving pom-poms, you're just hustling backwards. We got to hold these guys accountable. What you think of Poppa Left?
That's it? That's all you got?
That's it, man. That's it. We going in. I'm getting my situation situated.
More time for Poppa.
Poppa Left, go in and talk for an hour if you need to, brother.
Man. Okay. I didn't take any notes. I'm just gonna go off a lot of things that have nothing to do with basketball. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody that supports Toxic Boys. Hit that like button, subscribe. Let's talk about things that have nothing to do with basketball. Okay. Okay. I just want to talk about things that literally have nothing to do with basketball. It just has to do with humanity.
Okay.
I'll start. There's a couple things that have happened since last episode. Number one, Kemba Walker put out a quote somewhere and said that he's confused why they would pull out their phones at halftime and read negative things about their performance, right? That just speaks to the he's obviously speaking about the Knicks, right? That's number one. Okay. The second thing I want to bring up is Julius Randle on Wednesday night, prior to Wednesday night's game against the Brooklyn Nets. We have our show every Tuesday night. So prior to Wednesday night's game, there's a whole global controversy surrounding the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets are a team that has an expectation not to just win one championship, but multiple championships because they have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. It's
right.
The two players that we wanted to have, okay? Make all your jokes, but these are the two players that we prepared our organization for multiple years to acquire. Obviously, there's a controversy surrounding Kyrie Irving, where Kyrie Irving could not play basketball. Julius Randle had a quote that said, "It's all good in Nickland, baby." Okay? In reference saying that what's going on in Brooklyn is so catastrophic that I am not that. We are so fine. We're doing so fine here. He comes back the next night and in a game where there's a couple games where the Knicks just haven't beat a team in a long time. They play the Brooklyn Nets, who they haven't beat since the pandemic started, okay? They haven't beat the Brooklyn Nets since the pandemic started. This is your crosstown rival who's wounded, okay? Wounded. Doesn't have their best player, best guard, all right? They don't have Ben Simmons as Ben Simmons is, as Ben Simmons was.
Right.
He is how Ben Simmons is, and he's a nobody, okay?
Right.
They have Kevin Durant and a bunch of role players, okay?
Right.
And you immediately, before you could blink, it was a 2-possession game. You're mic'd up on national television. Your team loses by a margin of 15 to 25 points from the get. From the get. This is on national television. against your crosstown rival. You're in compete and develop mode, which means you're in a glorious way of saying you're trying to win. You're trying to win every single game. And instead of using the big 15, which is strength in numbers, right? You have better players than Edward Sumner. You have better players than Nicholas Claxton. You have better players than Seth Curry, okay? You have better players than them across the board. You decided to hug Kevin Durant, suck his armpit juice, laugh in his chest, and say, I'm going to be with you all night. Never mind that there were 8 other basketball players on the floor that could have tilted the game. Because clearly you can't. You can't tilt the game.
It's a me team, brother. They don't care about each other. It's about their stats and they one-on-one.
Hold on, Jay. Hold on, Jay. I got a lot of things that have nothing to do with basketball that I want to talk about.
Go ahead.
That's number 2. Number 3. The Knicks come back after that embarrassing performance against the Brooklyn Nets. They come back on Friday night. They play a Detroit Pistons team.
Right.
That has tanked for the last 3 years.
Okay.
They've acquired Cade Cunningham. They've acquired Jaden Ivey. They've acquired Jalen Duren. They've acquired multiple assets, and they are looking to do it again. They're looking to tank again, okay? This is a team that you've beaten by a margin, including preseason, and every game you've beat that. Even last year, you've beat every game you play the Pistons. It's an automatic dub, okay? You go out there, and you have a lineup at the end of the half of Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Julius Randle, and Obi Toppin, okay? That is called developing and competing, okay? That's a lineup where you can sell me developing and competing. The only reason that lineup was on the floor was because the Pistons put out Isaiah Stewart as their center that Randle can handle. Okay, this is Obi Top. Hold on, this is Obi Toppin's minutes. Everyone wants to talk about Obi's minutes. How do we get Obi? Here's a clear check. You're playing the Pistons, who do not have Cade Cunningham. Okay, I got so much shit from non-basketball savants on Twitter. When I say non-basketball savants, they don't know the game of basketball intelligently enough to give a take about an 18-year-old center. Okay,
hey, Nikki.
They're casuals. Why are you throwing that in there? Bro, 18-year-old center in New York, once again, on a Friday night, having the time of his life, right? Do you know that 18-year-old Jalen Duren stood in the way of 24-year-old Obi Toppin getting minutes? Because at the end of the game, when Isaiah Livers was hitting threes, because Julius Randle was not getting closeout looks, and he was very lazily acting on defense, not closing out. When he shakes up Naj Reid, he wants to act like Bruce Bowen. But when the game is dictating the ball into the hands of other primary ball handlers who have a better night going, like Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett, Julius Randle's woosah shit goes to shit. Okay? So we let the Pistons get back in the game. Thibs, who cares more about winning than developing, so we are a competing team that is looking to win every single game. You lost Obi Toppin in that game, 24-year-old Obi Toppin, because Jalen Duren, 18 years old, was getting development minutes over Obi Toppin.
Right.
Facts!
Right.
Facts!
Right.
Facts!
Right.
18-year-old Jalen Duren was getting more minutes. Make your joke, you fucking idiots. Make your joke about Mitchell Robinson. 18-year-old Jalen Duren was prioritized in minutes, not for wins, for minutes, over 24-year-old. I love Obi Toppin. He's the future. Who's the best? Obi is. That player couldn't hit the floor because Tom Thibodeau said, I need a win, And Isaiah Hartenstein gives me a better chance of getting rebounds against Jalen Duren. And if I put Obi and Randle on the floor to close this game, I will only learn something and I might lose the game. That's another one. In that post game, Jalen Brunson, who is a winning mentality player, every basketball organization he's touched, they've won at an exponential rate prior to him being there.
Especially not here because he's here to be a hot boy, but continue on.
Jalen Brunson in a post game talks to Rebecca Harlow, who is the baby mama of Wally Zerbiak, who doesn't deserve to talk to me about a Knick game. Monica McNutt is in that room, and he chose Rebecca Harlow. Jalen Brunson, this is why it's the Toxic Boys. Jalen Brunson told Rebecca Harlow, we have to stick together. 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 He said it 4 times.
Randle said that stupid shit last week, correct? Also.
He said it 4 times. After a win. After this win, I went on Twitter. There were people who said after the Nets lost that they were distraught, that their whole mentality about the team is changing. I just can't root for the team like I used to. Lies. If the Knicks beat the Jazz tonight and Nikola Jokic, who's out for COVID, doesn't play tomorrow, lies. You're a liar. Just be honest. You're a liar. Okay? Jalen Brunson, by the way. Brunson in the court. Hold on one second, Jay. Hold on. I got to cook, bro. Jalen Brunson in this corner understands this phrase better than anybody who throws tomatoes at us or calls us miserable. He held his teammates accountable because he realized that performance against the Pistons was terrible. And he said, we have to stick together. Clearly, something is brewing here that has nothing to do with basketball.
I know what it is.
Okay? There's something brewing here that has nothing to do with basketball. So, you know what? It's cool. Jalen Brunson, he says that his team needs to stick together. Clearly that there's other voices outside of the organization, inside the organization that are conflicting. There are egos that are swirling around. There are a lot of people in contract years. There's a lot of people with different motivations. It's not a focused effort night to night. So you have to stick together in that environment because it's very easy to get torn apart. This team, and no less than 36 hours later, goes on to the Madison Square Garden court and gives up more points than any NBA All-Star game from the 90s. This team gives up 145 points to a team, another team, that don't give a goddamn about winning a game.
That's the bad part.
They don't give a goddamn about winning a game as long as Giddey gets his development and Shea gets his development and Poku gets his development.
Right.
Okay? That's all they care about. Okay? Right. So they come out, they lose the game 145. And by nature of them scoring 145, we scored 135. Okay? So after this game, the New York Knicks fans are now toxic boys. Okay? Now everybody says we have to trade Randle. Now everybody says we have to fire Thibs. Now everybody says this team, we got to blow it up. Now all the takes that we were being gaslit for, okay? Gaslit, meaning they knew we were telling the truth, but instead of acknowledging us telling the truth and giving us credit, they chose to act like what we were saying was miserable, which in reality, it was us trying to improve the standing of a Knicks organization past an endless road of mediocrity. Okay? That's all we were doing. Okay? So then you have people, and here's my first enemy of the night. Alan Hahn.
Oh.
Alan Hahn got on a phone call with my brother, Ari from Manhattan, and said, to Ari's point about a meritocracy and about not playing players who choose to not engage in competitive spirit, not playing players who are just not performing, okay? Not playing players because they're sulking and they need to be benched.
Right. RJ.
Alan Hahn said, that's a terrible call. That's a terrible call. What does Alan Hahn do when he comes out on I saw somebody tag me in a clip. Alan Hahn is there on Monday, and Evan Fournier just so happens to play 12 minutes in a basketball game in the fourth quarter. Julius Randle happens to end the game in the fourth quarter, down 18 points. RJ Barrett, the guy who just gave 4 years, $120 million, is on the bench with 4 fouls with 10 minutes to go in the third and never sees the game again.
What a baby RJ.
Okay, I'll get to RJ. Trust me, I will.
You still got like 10 minutes left in the tape?
Bro.
He's got like 3 minutes. I'm giving him 3 minutes.
Bro, I got to say this about Alan Hahn, bro. Okay. Alan Hahn then gets on whatever social media app he does and literally says this. He says, it makes you wonder what's going on with this group. It makes you wonder if there's something more than basketball. Optics, Hahn! Optics! When we said it, we were hyenas. We're terrible people. We're bad human beings. I'm mad they gave you a platform. Shout out to CP the franchise who just bought Twitter and is giving out blue checks to everybody. Yeah. Okay?
I think that a lot. How you get these clowns platforms.
Yeah. Shout out to CP who gave everybody blue checks because he gave us the platform. I love CP.
Right.
I love CP. But we got to understand that, Ari uses the same phone that you can use to call Knicks Fan TV. I waited online using the same phone that you can use to call Knicks Fan TV.
Right.
Maybe, as CP says, the talent will rise to the top.
The cream rises to the top.
The cream will rise to the top. I don't see CP posting your take on Knicks Fan TV. I don't see CP posting super fan Jimmy Jones who says Ari's miserable on Knicks Fan TV. I see people posting.
Ron from Baltimore never gets a video.
I love Ron from Baltimore, but he didn't get a video.
I love Ron, but he didn't get a video. So CP's giving Ari the platform because he understands that his conversation is actually thought-provoking and not ass-shaking. Correct.
Okay? If you want to go to the strip club, go to a strip club. But if you want to sit down and learn something, get in the classroom. Read a book. Open up an intellectual podcast. Maybe don't laugh at somebody or scoff or act like they cursed on national television when they say, trade Julius Randle at his highest stock and it'll never be even this close.
Land the plane.
The plane is going to be landed on this. Y'all would never sit through the fucking berating that me, Jay from Florida, and Ari got, and that's why you didn't give the takes we gave. Because you're like Jay-Z, waiting for the environment to build, for the culture to build, and then you say, are you dumb? In a bar, okay? Then you say some hot shit like that. Our takes are being stolen. They're being stolen at worst, co-splayed at best. Okay? Shout out to Nick Take Jake because he gave Jay from Florida and Ari credit today. Me, I'm a former ass shaker for the organization. I admit it.
You are.
I admit it. I chanted for Leon Rose. I said, thank you, Leon, in Las Vegas. And that was my last act of ass shaking.
Yeah.
If you like this product, you are a Knicks City dancer.
Beautiful. All right. That was. I think you did a very excellent job landing the plane because I don't think people realize. I mean, I'm used to this. It's been years since I've been calling Knicks Fan TV and people have been hating on me. So I'm like kind of immune to it now. I kind of like it a little bit. But yeah, no one understands. Like, dude, I was getting death threats. I was getting people with burner accounts coming at me, sending me crazy DMs and stuff, calling me a loser and all this stuff. There's people. What did that guy say? Like, someone said like, I don't want Ari shouldn't get a a platform has been multiple times trying to deplatform me. I think you saw that, right, Papa? The deplatform guy today. He's like, "Why are you giving Ari platform or some shit?"
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this shit's real.
Meanwhile, there's creeps running through the Knicks organization. We'll get through that, though.
Yeah, listen, there's facts there, and
Yo,
listen, man, I think Papa makes a good point in the sense that and I've been saying, listen, it's just annoying. I have to say this again and again, same take every time, but it's like you can't skip steps in a rebuild. I don't know how many times I have to say it, and the thing that's shocking to me is I don't know how people didn't see this coming. Like, we are exactly where we're supposed to be, a 500 team. Like, this is not like something crazy, and clearly it's not enough. Right now, I have a theory, and I'll present this theory to the panel over here on why I think there's dysfunction going on or there's people not sticking together. My theory, and this is my theory, but my theory is that I think Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin and Cam Reddish are salty, especially Obi, obviously, because he has the most reason to be salty. Those three people are salty at Julius Randle, Evan Fournier, and Derrick Rose to a little bit of a lesser standpoint because they're due contracts coming up, right? And they've done more their dues, right? They've paid more than dues, right? They've not played, they've not gotten consistent minutes for this is their third year now, okay? And Obi, out of all people, every time he gets on the court, he performs in 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It doesn't matter.
When he's not UFO, when he's not shooting the air ball.
He had bro, do people realize that he had to watch Jalen Duren close out a game instead of him? Do people realize that?
Yeah, and people have to realize that he comes in the game and he literally he'll hit like a 2 threes and he'll get a fast break dunk, and then Thibs take him out, put in Randle, and that's why you need to trade Randle. And again, I've said this take a million times. It has nothing to do with Julius Randle. It has to do with the fact that he's blocking the development of Obi, RJ, Cam, and Grimes. He needs to go, man. And at this point, I'm willing to attach an asset to just get rid of this motherfucker, honestly. I'm at that point. I'm at the point. You got to get rid of him. Evan Fournier, I'm not as concerned about because Fournier.
How many picks?
What do you say?
How many picks we letting off for Randle?
No. If I'm giving up a pick, I'm giving up one max. But I think that Evan Fournier's contract's not quite as bad as people think because he's an expiring contract next year and there's no real free agents this year. So I'd still get rid of him, but that's not the issue. You can get rid of Fournier. He's going to be an expiring contract next year. The problem is the Randle deal, and that's the deal that could set us back for literally 4 years because what happens if you can't get rid of a pick for him, or they don't want to get rid of a pick for him? Or
can we establish that you have? Here's another thing. Here's another take that we got murdered for. Can we establish that you have to accept that it's a net negative when you're trading this guy?
Listen, I
at best a net neutral.
At best a net neutral. Obviously, you're not getting anything for him. At best a net neutral. I don't know how you're even going to do that.
I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think anybody in the NBA.
I think he has too many years left on his deal.
Yeah. You got to get a coach, and shout out to Twitter. You got to get a coach that has somebody that's man enough to really sit him down and adjust his role. Because if you hire Thibs, looks like an old man. He's in a situation now where his locker room is controlling him. We saw it in Minnesota with the Jimmy Butler situation, playing a pickup game in the middle of practice and walking out of practice and then getting traded off the team. In Chicago, he lost the team, and he's clearly losing the team now. You got to get a coach in here that can take the ball out of his hands, bench him, split the money,
At least if you were to fire Thibs, right? If you trade Randle, you're done, right? You right now you're done.
Yeah.
At least if you fire Thibs, right? At least if you fire Thibs, you could somehow finesse somebody in saying, "Hey, it was just the way the locker room was at that time, and this is how." But bro, it's done. It's done. And the longer this team wastes time in figuring out who Obi Toppin is, they're literally going to screw over two assets.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and take up salary cap. Question for you two.
Fuck this team, man. Fuck them. I'm so fucking tired of the fucking shit show that they fucking sold me season. They wanted me to spend $10,000 plus a year because we're in a uniquely flexible position to compete and develop.
Anybody that does that is, I shout out to you. You're an amazing fan. There's no way, bro. Just watching the team on TV is extremely boring. And they wins, bro. I was literally sitting here about to fall asleep watching this product. It's a terrible product to watch. Jalen Brunson literally is dribbling the air out the ball for 17 seconds off the shot clock to post up another guard on the other end while they're swinging the ball down the court and shooting a three in our face.
Hold on. Stop. Think about that. Think about the energy and the effort that you have to give in a game where your best look is a 2-point shot from your point guard.
Correct.
Yeah, fall away contested 2-point shot. Yeah, for sure.
While you're standing around, and then on defense, you got to fucking, you're not touching the ball on offense, right? This is mental. You're not touching the ball on offense. So now you have to commit all your energy on defense against a team that's actually running an offense that spans 48 feet of the court.
Absolutely.
Dude, we have 4 years left on this Randle deal, bro. This is
fucking
crazy.
terrible.
Bro, I've been watching his tape, his defensive tape. He doesn't close out. He doesn't rotate. He doesn't play with any intensity on the defensive end, and it trickles down to the rest of his teammates. He got RJ thinking he could do the same thing. Bro, they're literally playing 3-on-5 every game on defense. Cam is literally guarding 2 people. The 5 got to guard 2 people.
Quickly is as well. Quickly's fucking switching on everybody.
Yeah, like, yo, you can't win in the NBA if you're playing 3-on-5. And if Thibs can't rein that in and control his plays, he got to go.
They fucking suck, Jay. They fucking suck.
Watching. What are you watching? If you look at the tape tells it all. Thibs always shits on it. Said, "Oh, the fans don't know nothing. You don't watch tape. You don't do this. You don't do this." Bro, I watched the game twice. You can see Randle's like, it's almost like he's shaving points the way he plays defense.
He's hanging around the block to play off his man so he can get rebounds, bro.
Yo, the type of delusion this dude plays with, man. Like, you say you want to go head to head with Durant and Giannis and the big boys in the league. They set the tone for their team every game. Like, they don't play around. You can tell, like, the nuance of the team, the spirit of the team is all wrong. I mean, has Kendra and the kid been to a game this year? Like, that's all different. Like, everything is different. Everybody's out for themselves. Quick is out for himself. RJ wants to be a superstar because he would dream dog and drive a Rolls Royce now. He on some rap shit. Everybody's playing for themselves and not how the team is.
Hey yo, nothing you're saying is false, bro. Nothing you're saying is false. This team is one of the most selfish, wasting time kind of teams I've watched in my life. Like at least I understood within the Isaiah Thomas era with Jamal Crawford, I was gonna get a shake and bake ridiculous 3 from Jamal Crawford, fucking score 18 unanswered, and it would look beautiful. Right. Okay, this team is maddening because they actually have a path to normalcy, and they rather commit to the boys' club, which is Leon Rose. And I don't know when we're gonna get there, but there's 2 things that are true. Julius Randle cannot trade himself.
Right.
Okay. Tom Thibodeau cannot fire himself. So we can get the pitchforks out and say who we hate. I hate Thibs. I hate Randle. I don't like this player. This player needs to switch his position. Leon Rose is watching this shit happen.
You know what the weirdest part of the week for me is? And you're absolutely right, Poppa Left. The weirdest part of this week to me was when Ian Begley got on SNY TV and said that the Knicks been taking calls for Emmanuel quickly, like throwing feelers out there. Like, out of the randomness that's going on in the week, we lost terrible games. And you get on the internet and say Emmanuel quickly is available for trade.
Haven't won a game in a week, by the way. We haven't won a game in a week. Don't tell me we beat the Pistons. It's not. Right. It's not. It was a loss.
And then Knicks fans tell me that Ian Begley ain't a worm that goes out here and sprinkles stuff in the Knicks ethos to put feelers out there to figure out how we feel about Emmanuel quickly and the different trades that we could possibly get.
Well, it's all planted stuff. So, it's all like moles and shit.
These guys don't know what they're doing, bro. They don't know. They have no clue what they're doing. We need to get real NBA guys in there. We need to hire a real president of basketball operations.
Another take people stole from you.
I've heard people say that 10 times. I've been saying this for years. Like, get somebody in there that can really get the job done. I don't care about the name. When the next guy that you hire, let me Google him and figure out who he is. Like let me figure out.
They always go for the big name, bro. This is what you have to understand. They're always selling you something, dude. Always. And it's never to do with the production of the basketball team. It's always Phil Jackson, 11 rings, Fizdale, friends with LeBron, Leon Rose, Carmelo, and LeBron's agent, right? It's always something. We're going to bring in Ronnie Feig, distraction, creative
We
director.
We do more things to improve the aesthetic of the team than the actual product.
Dude, we have more consultants than we do wings on the team.
And they're all they're all part of the boys club. It's one big fucking creep show boys club.
Bro, the Knicks bench is the assistant coach section of the bench is pretty much empty.
Yes, man. Yes, man. Every single one.
Dude, here's what
teams have like 3 rows back of assistant coaches. We have a sexual predator in Rick Brunson, Dice, the yes man, and then Johnny Bryant. Like, I'm thinking about Johnny Bryant. I don't know if I want Johnny Bryant at this time, right? Because if I'm RJ Barrett, I'm
gonna need someone to shock that room, bro.
Dude,
you've been getting shot on with Thibs the whole time. We ain't listening to Thibs. We're not listening to you. How can you shock somebody? How can you get somebody to shape up? It's like when a company hires a boss from outside and drops him into an organization and he changes everything.
Bro, do we even realize, like, Thibs is the worst coach to coach this process? He's like the worst one to do. And but by the way, it's not like he hasn't tried it out before, right? He wasn't just like Phil Jackson coaching Kobe and Shaq his whole life. He coached Derrick Rose in the prime, and he fucked him up in a 10-point game with 1 minute and 17 seconds left.
He should have never after that for that.
All right, he fucking killed him. But
in development, anything like
he did the same shit in Minnesota.
Right.
Did the same shit.
Right.
Who are we fooling here?
He has no interest in building guys up. He has no interest.
Dude, he's a selfish asshole, man. He cares about his own personal record. He wants to keep his job for as long as possible. So he needs to
creep. He's a creep. He's a creep too.
Top of the mountain, bro. You just said he's selfish. What does the team look like? The team reflects Thibs,
bro.
Coach at the top, and then you got RJ that's selfish, Julius that's selfish. Everybody's selfish on.
So here's the deal. So basically, Tom Thibodeau's selfish because he's playing for his own record and for himself. RJ Barrett and Julius Randle are selfish against each other because they're both trying to be like the guy, right? Jalen Brunson is selfish because now he left Luka Doncic, and now it's like finally he has his team. He's selfish, right? Obi Toppin is selfish in the sense that he needs to come in the game and he needs to perform in like 3 minutes because if
he's not going to get paid.
He's not going to get paid.
He's not going to get paid.
He's
got 2 kids.
IQ, Cam, same thing. Not getting paid. Quentin, like literally, they all have a different motive for a different thing. And it's
Cam Reddish against the Nets, by the way. Cam Reddish was we had the fucking task. I'm with you all night. Cam Reddish had the task of guarding Kevin Durant on multiple possessions. You know that Cam barely touched the ball, and we're losing a game. You know, basketball is a game that when you're fucking losing, you might want to do like intelligent things to, as a team, turn the shit around. Do you know that Cam Reddish got the basketball and was like, fuck it, I'm shooting my 3? That's the type of culture we have.
Yeah,
and we have fucking Ryan Arcidiacono, bed bunk fart noise buddy with fucking Jalen Brunson doing nothing. He's a sleepover friend. Dude. He's a sleepover friend. I heard, and I can't take this for a fact. I heard they when they signed Jalen Brunson, by the way, when the Knicks signed Jalen Brunson, this was a 24-month operation. I hope people realize that because Rick Brunson travels with Thibs from player to assistant coach in Chicago, where he tried to bag every media member. Then Rick Brunson went into a Lifetime Fitness and then wrote his name as Patrick Ewing to bypass the security checkpoint. He wrote his name as, this is alleged, he wrote his name as Patrick Ewing to bypass an unwanted interaction with a woman, a massage therapist. Okay?
All right. Listen. We
Look,
don't have to go there. We don't have to go there.
look. Here's what I'm saying. It's alleged. It's not. I don't know all the facts of the story. But the point is that he's grabbing him everywhere he goes, to the point where Minnesota fired Brunson. Thibs was still there, and they still bring him back. This is a 24th month operation, and I heard that Brunson demanded, as part of his contract, that they mock up a bedroom and put a bed bunk with Ryan Arcidiacono in the locker room so that they can share bed bunks and give each other wet willies.
Yo, I have 2 questions for you. This is just observation. Do you hang out with dudes that you don't have the similar interests with as homeboys? Right? No, right? You don't hang out with dudes that you don't have nothing in common with. So Thibs and Brunson are clearly into the same stuff. Now, in terms of the locker room is so dead. It's like dead. It's like a dead limb. It's like
Theo Pinson doesn't matter.
It's like a dead limb. And I say this, you got Theo Pinson. Theo Pinson went on ESPN and explained why he didn't re-sign with the Knicks, pretty much because Thibs didn't want him back on the team. Theo Pinson put so much life into that team, so much camaraderie into that team, so much energy into that team, had them playing a certain way. The same thing with assistant coaches. Any assistant coach that does well and that the players cling to, Woody, Payne, they all leave and dip, and then Thibs implements these fucking dead assistant coaches with no personality, put them on the bench, and expect this team to have a different type of energy. That's just why these guys don't play for each other. There's no camaraderie. There's no energy, guys. There's no Theo Pinson. There's no Woody. So nobody can rein a Reddish and an RJ and say, yo, you want some bullshit.
Fucking players only meeting. Give me the ball.
Right?
Yo,
how is Randle doing a players only meeting when he's like the most bland personality you got on the damn team? How is he going to bring these young guys together? You got to be vibrant to bring a team together, especially these young guys. You got to give them confidence. You got to make them think that, yo, this is not about me. This is about the team. And if we all play good, like they did with the 4th seed, mad people got paid. Coaches got paid. Players got paid. Ronnie Fye got paid. The GM, everybody got paid after that 4th season.
Who cares about kids? Like, what is wrong with our fan base?
But they soak it up. Like I said, if the team plays well, if they play together, if they're successful, everybody gets paid. If everybody's so disjointed, nothing positive happens, and they have to realize that. You have to have people on the bench and on the actual roster, not Ryan Arcidiacono, but Theo Pinson, that can bring guys together and get the energy flowing again, because it's a dead team with dead personalities and dead camaraderie.
That's half of it. That gets you, like, that'll help, but I don't think that's going to solve anything. I think
the point is Ari. The point is that Leon Rose ain't firing nobody. They're all in a boys' club together.
They will, though.
Anything that I just said is public knowledge as well. Like, they're not going to fire anybody. That if they're not going to fire somebody for doing something that's like literally unthinkable, unconscionable to have in your organization, they're not going to fire Thibs. It's not going to happen.
No, there's going to come a point where it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen. This is what's going to happen. Dolan's going to be so much pressure that Dolan's going to have to force Leon's hand. But at the same time, man, this is what's going to happen when you have 3 guys who are going into extension or contract years, and they have legitimate reason to believe that they should be playing a lot more minutes, and they don't, because of guys who already got paid who suck, right? So it's gonna be a problem. Like, it's a problem, because it goes to the whole point. It's like a half win now team, half developmental team. You can't do that, because what ends up happening is that the win now players suck. They block the development of the developmental players, and now the developmental players are salty against the win now players, because the developmental players aren't getting enough minutes, they're not getting enough touches, they're not getting enough high impact moments, and now it's literally affecting their pockets. This is not just like I want to play because I want to put up numbers type thing. It's like I want to play so I can get $100 million fucking deal. And when Emmanuel quickly sees RJ Barrett fucking, going in there and going 2 for 9 or whatever, and then Evan Fournier, who literally scores 0 points every single time, and he's playing like IQ gets like 12 minutes because of fucking RJ and Fournier is playing all the minutes, and he's trying to make money, this guy. He's obviously going to be fucking pissed. It doesn't matter who. You could have Theo Pinson on the bench. You could have his fucking dad on the bench. It's not going to change anything unless they get the rotations right. That's
I
it.
think it would.
Who's
I think when you have RJ Barrett, and here's my issue with RJ, right? RJ goes to the bench with 10 minutes to go in a game, never in the third quarter, never comes back.
Right.
You have guys who you're sitting next to, Quentin Grimes, Deuce McBride. Forget about Quentin Grimes. Deuce McBride, Svi Mihalik. You have guys that literally they watch you play basketball forever. Like they just go to practice, they give you scout looks, they watch you play basketball. You're on the bench. Jay from Florida, I think your picture got put on like Knicks fan Brazil of RJ just staring like a deer in the headlights.
And so
The Knicks record with Theo Pinson is 41-31. Without Theo Pinson, it's 43-50. I can't tell you how much that matters, but I can guarantee you that if RJ Barrett is on that bench and he has Theo Pinson jumping around because we cut the lead to 6,
It'll help, but it won't solve it.
It won't solve the major, bro. But this selfishness, you have not seen this in years.
Well, Poppa Left, like you said, you were on the space the other day, and you said, what right does RJ have to sit on the bench and sulk when McBride
He has none.
has to sit on the bench game after game and suck it up and be enthusiastic about being a bench?
That's why I don't throw the fucking Beretta at Thibs' head anymore. I don't fucking do this. The players have a voice. RJ has to fucking step up and tell Randle, you want to hold a fucking players only meeting? We just had a meeting without you. How about that?
Right. But then you got Knicks fans on the app that don't hold this guy accountable, do 4-hour sessions about him, bigging him up the whole time, and don't hold him for shit. He hasn't played good on defense, and defense is all effort. If you don't understand it, get into somebody's defense and play on defense, rebound the ball, and give you
Same CAA meeting.
some effort, bro. You can't continue to be on this guy's nuts because he's the only thing we quote unquote have.
All right, CP to artist. Anybody who says I'm reaching about Theo Pinson, I believe Jason Kidd more than you.
All right, Jay. By the way, there's a little feedback coming from your mic. But
No, it's because when I speak and he comes over to this is a whole different thing.
all right,
Obi Toppin is starting. Is that real? With Randle though, probably.
all right, whatever. Listen, here's the situation that we have to figure out right now. Are we going to embrace are we going to embrace the development and trade these guys, or are we not? Because if we're not trading these guys and we're not trading Randle, right, and we're not trading him,
Well, Ari, to you, do you think anybody's untouchable on this roster?
no one's untouchable. Of course not. The fuck?
RJ's untouchable. I'm trading him for. I'm reset, bro. I want to reset the whole thing and get somebody in here that can see the roster how he sees it. Because you can't tell me if I'm GM, I'm gonna want a clean slate. I don't even know how they're gonna get a good GM to come in here and take this roster over with all these super long contracts. You can say one thing about Steve Mills and Scott Perry. And I know you don't like Steve Mills, Ari, but he was signing a lot of 1-year contracts.
Last year, he was the fucking president of basketball for 13 years. Took him to year 12 to sign 1-year deals, bro.
And when Leon Rose came in, he had a clean slate to work with. Now, when a new GM comes in, they got to figure out a way to get around Randle, Fournier, RJ's contract. If they don't like RJ, they got to figure out all these things. This is a way harder job, man. There's no enthusiasm in my body for this roster. There's nothing for Thibs, for RJ Barrett. There's nobody on this roster I'm excited about.
Here's the thing, Jay. Here's my RJ take. So obviously, I'm not high on him. I'm not low on him. But here's the thing. Like last year, he played really fucking well in the second half of the year. But you know what also happened at the end of the second half of the year?
Right.
There was no Jalen Brunson, and he was like the top dog. Like he was. They remember they were pushing Randle to the corner, right?
Absolutely.
So if you trade Julius fucking Randle, okay, now you have RJ Barrett playing that really like go-to option off the wing where you give him the ball. Right. So I'm not gonna judge RJ Barrett. I'm not gonna say he's good. I'm not gonna say he's bad until I see him without fucking Julius Randle on the floor. Think about it. I said it on Knicks Fan TV. 20 shots a game. Now you have to go to give around to RJ, Cam, and Obi if they get rid of Randle. Not only letting and get rid of, but the problem is they're not going to get rid of him without taking bad money like Duncan Robinson contract back. That's the only.
Who cares? Who cares if you get Duncan Robinson? Are you flinching on benching Duncan Robinson because you might lose the locker room or he might bitch for an hour?
How long is his deal? When is it?
It's a 4-year deal for like $90 million.
I can't do that. I need to
Bro, but here's the thing, Ari. You can't do Randle anyways. What are we fooling? Who are we fooling?
Right.
Name one team in the NBA that wants him.
You can sweeten the deal. Listen, question. Would you package, and he's my fucking guy, but would you sacrifice IQ to get off of Randle?
Yes.
IQ, get the fuck out of here. IQ don't care about he don't care about
bro. IQ, guys, it's not about IQ, guys. It's not about IQ. It's about first of all, if you're able to do that, that would be your first option because Emmanuel Quickly getting paid to be a backup behind RJ Barrett and Jalen Brunson is not worth it.
I agree.
It is not worth it. What is worth it is 4 years of team control with a first-round pick. But this isn't a conversation for Knicks Twitter because Knicks Twitter is so fucking incompetent when it comes to organizational practices. Okay? Oh, I want this player, and don't say this about my player, and don't say this about having a hive is the lowest level of fandom. Facts.
It's terrible.
We have to build a team that's a contender. Julius Randle's in the way of developing multiple players on this team.
Art, let me ask you a question.
Jesus Christ, it's nuts.
Piggyback on what Poppa Left is saying. So Duncan Robinson, the money matches, right? You don't like the contract, but in terms of resetting the culture on the team, right? You don't have Randle ball hogging or telling KD he's going one-on-one and not giving effort on defense. You got Duncan Robinson. You could bench him. You could put him on the court. You can do whatever you want with him. You have a complete clean slate to go ahead and build a team how you want to build it. Is that not worth it to you? Even if it's a bad deal, you get to reset the culture.
If that was the only option, maybe. But I think if I was the GM of the Knicks, I'd make something else fucking happen than that. I guarantee you that. I'd figure some other way to do it. I'd sweeten the deal in some way.
But they're not going to ask for IQ though. That's what people don't want to hear.
It doesn't have to be IQ.
They're going to ask for picks.
Okay, if it's one pick, I would do it.
They're going to ask for picks.
Yeah, I know. No,
not pick. They're going to ask for picks.
No, I don't think so.
That's what you're going to have to argue out of picks to throw a pick.
Then you have to
telling you.
And what you could do is you could package Randle and a couple of other picks and young player and make a move for a star, not a superstar maybe, but a star that makes good money. Package him as part of a bigger deal. That's an option.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that guy is. I think that's more likely. What I also think is more likely that you said it's gonna happen, bro. The NBA is a fickle place, and Tom Thibodeau knows how to get 40 wins. I think it's more likely because of this 10th seed bullshit. I think it's more likely. I said this on Twitter. It's actually, in my opinion, and I'm not speaking in hyperbole. It's 10 times more likely that the Knicks make a move to improve this roster in terms of winning the game than it is. I don't care what you want to hear. 10 times more. He's not going to fire his friend. He's not going to do it.
I won't watch another minute.
Listen. This is the reason why this is
something like that, bro. I'm not watching another minute, bro.
This is the reason why we exist. This is the reason why we exist, to put so much pressure on just the front office and the fan base to make something work. That
get ready for Zach LaVine.
What's so hard about shit? Jesus Christ! What's so hard about just giving Cam Reddish and Grimes and RJ the reins and figure out what they are in Obi? What's so hard about that?
By the way, Stephon Marbury just retweeted me.
Shout out to Steph, man, original toxic boy. Shout out to Steph.
Dude, so listen, here's what we're doing right now. So we're 6-7. We can't beat our good team. We can't beat good teams, and we could beat the really shitty teams, right? Granted, it's like Detroit and Orlando only are the only, like, let's play another shitty team and see what happens. But
let's go through the schedule. Let's talk.
All right. So basically, what we have coming up is we have Utah tonight in like 45 minutes. We have Denver. Jokic apparently is out. That's what people are telling me right now. Golden State. That's going to be a fucking loss regardless of the record. And then Phoenix. So. I'll go my pick. I think the Knicks will go 1-3. I think they'll find a way to win one of those fucking games. but I think they'll go 1-3. If I had to guess which game, I could see it being tonight or Golden State, just because they're never going to win in Denver, and they're not going to win in Phoenix either. And Golden State, they beat Golden State recently, like one last year or something, like randomly, like just happened or something like that.
Oh, so that was when Cam came over in Golden State. I don't think they won the game though.
I'm going 1-3. There's no way they win 2. I wouldn't be surprised if they go 0-4. Jay, where do you think they're going the next 4 games?
Utah. Okay, so I got an L tonight. I got an L in Denver. I got an L in Golden State.
No Jokic.
I got an L in Phoenix.
No Jokic.
I still got an L. And
Why? Why?
Because Denver still got other players, bro. There's still Michael Porter Jr., Murray. They still playing, bro. You still got to harp on those guys. And
Will Barton kills the Knicks.
Yeah, Joker's more of a distributor than anything else. I mean, he scores his ass off, but he gets his guys involved. He's not like Randle. He's not like Brunson that won a ball hog for half the shot clock and not get anybody involved. And nobody, I was looking at major media. Brandon Tierney was the only one to question Leon Rose in the public this week. No other major media platform criticizes Leon Rose, says anything about him. Nobody holds this organization accountable.
We do.
The Toxic Boys do, but nobody else does, bro.
Everybody's saying hold accountable now. Everybody's saying that shit.
You gotta hold them accountable. But yeah, man.
Do they have a graphic though? Shout out to Jay Nicky. Do they have a graphic though?
Yo, shout out Presidential O, my guy. So Presidential O, I was walking on Upper East Side, and I see this guy, and he's with some girl, and he's like got the carriage, and he's wearing a mask, like a COVID mask. And I just walked by, and he turns around, he's like, "Are you from Manhattan?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, what's up, man?" I'm
the biggest.
Yeah, I think he's boys with Dave East, or he's somewhat boys with Dave East. I know they're from Harlem. I think I know Dave East. Shout him out. So shout out to O.
Shout out to O. Did Isaiah Hartenstein's girl say something about him not getting used properly?
It was a spoof. It was a spoof, and then she came out and addressed it and said it's not cool. And then I commented underneath it, but it's facts though. Basically saying that Isaiah Hartenstein probably is not being used like he was used in LA.
Right.
Because Ty Lue is dancing circles around Thibs and he doesn't even know he's there.
Shout out Suffering Knicks, Banksy Knicks Twitter. Knicks haven't won in Denver in 06.
Jamal Crawford.
That was the Jamal Crawford, yeah. Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to Nishi and Smooth. I stole that from Smooth. See, the thing is, when I steal something from somebody, I always cite the source, right? Like I'll say, shout out to the ladies, shout out to Smooth. So I respect that. Al Diddy, shout out to you. CP. Oh no, never mind. We didn't shout out him out. Get the fuck out of here. Rayology, Blood of the Panther. Poppa, what do you think? What do you think's gonna happen on the road trip? Four games.
I think no Mitch. As much as I'm blasting Mitch with his value, I think it's starting to wear on Thibs, because if there's one thing Thibs knows how to do, it's rotate his rim protection centers, right? That's like the one thing he knows how to do night to night.
Right.
Like he'll mix and match the right guy, right? He doesn't know what the fuck to do. He doesn't know if he should go small with Obi. He doesn't know if he should put Hartenstein in the game. He doesn't know who to start. He doesn't know who to bring in the bench. I just think the rotations are still in flux, and you're going against teams that pretty much are together. Like y'all want to laugh at camaraderie, you want to laugh at culture, you want to point to talent.
And
the NBA regular season is if you show up 82 nights, you're gonna fall into like 30 wins minimum.
Right.
If you just have an intention to win, bro, the team right now needs to show me tonight that players only meeting meant that whatever Utah's average points is, they need to hold them underneath that.
All right, here's another good question.
0-4. How about that?
0-4. Over under 15 threes Utah makes tonight.
I heard they have the highest 3-point percentage and attempts in the league, correct?
Yeah, I think so. 15 super high, but like
they make more than 15, bro. And Utah, that's been in their DNA. They have a 35-year-old coach that understands the nuance of the NBA and knows how to actually get an offense that scores efficiently. Then you got the Thibs situation where he can't. His defense doesn't understand that you need to lock down on the three and avoid those shots from going in. In his mind, he'd rather give up the three than guard it.
Yeah, because we discussed this today. It's when he was playing, you got to go to guard the center, and you got to work, and no one shot threes. So his whole if you listen to him in post game, he says the way to win games is to play defense, rebound, and don't turn the ball over.
Talks about turnovers all the time.
Yeah, turnovers, rebound, and defense. That's how you used to win in the 90s with Patrick Ewing, bro. In today's day and age, you gotta shoot the three. You gotta spread out the floor.
And you
gotta collapse and kick.
Yeah,
you gotta roll.
You gotta run them off the 3-point line.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The problem is you don't have effort players to be able to run them off the 3-point line. Because
I would play 30 minutes a game.
Hold on, Pop. Hold on. RJ so goddamn lazy and Randle to run them off the 3-point line. This is getting open the whole game. Like OKC, every team gets to come back against us because the 3-point shot is always an option for them, right? There's no resistance. We don't run them off the 3-point line. There's no schemes. The defensive scheme is shit. We got lazy players that don't care about anything, that don't respect the coach. Bro, and then you got RJ Barrett putting little hot boy quotes in the New York Post talking about what he said when we're superstars, when we're not. Like, shut up and give me effort on defense and stop talking that hot boy garbage. I don't care about your Cullinan. I don't care about Dream Doll. I want to see RJ Barrett, rookie year RJ Barrett on defense this year. I want to see you play like Cam.
So there's a
defensive effort as Cam. Get into the passing lanes. Get in people's chests. Play defense. If you have two high-powered wings, you know what that would do for our defense. And then you got Grimes coming off the bench to do it some more. But no, he wants to be Randle. You think you're a bucket getter, but you're not a bucket getter. You can't even jump over a textbook. Humble yourself, son.
Dude, if Randle was off this team,
he got highs, Ari. He got 4-hour spaces. He got people buying his jersey every day. RJ. Come on, bro.
Yeah, he's a paid man now. Listen,
he's not He's not the third pick anymore. The time to build. The thing here's the thing about RJ Barrett, right? What RJ Barrett represents to me is the function of a normal organization, right? When we got RJ Barrett, it was because we recognized it was like we had so many years, 3 years. That's a long time of Melo going nowhere. Like not even beating Paul Millsap to the 8th seed, not even beating Nikola Vukovic to the 8th seed, not even beating Al Jefferson to the 8th seed. Like we were a team in constant catch-up mode with no picks. It was disgusting. And then the team whiffed, right? We whiffed on Ntilikina. We whiffed on Knox. But at least at the very end of that rebuild, we had a thought process that we were going to get Zion Williamson, right? And we end up not even getting the first pick. We don't end up getting the second pick. We end up getting the third pick, right? And RJ was the consensus pick. And what he represented to me...
Should have picked Garland.
All right. What he represented to me is, as a seasoned Knicks fan, is finally we got a real piece that we could build with, that can play both sides of the floor and do it in a winning way and help bring winning mentality. And you gather other talent around that player or with that player. Bro, Jay from Florida, I dug up a take from you from 2 years ago on Knicks Fan TV, right? The Knicks won the game. Then this is a go New York, go. All right. Like that we 131 to 113. The Knicks win a game. And you get called Debbie Downer because you don't give a fuck about beating the Wizards in March of COVID. Okay. You're calling and saying, why is the Pacers trading Sabonis? Why are the Pacers trading Brogdon? Why are the Pacers looking to move this team that is historically making runs in the playoffs, right? They got swept by the Heat. Remember that?
Right.
So during COVID, right? So peep this, right? Peep this. Since that phone call, right? The Knicks have acquired Quentin Grimes. The Knicks have acquired a bunch of veteran contracts who they had to use draft picks to get off of. Alec Burks, Kemba Walker, Nerlens Noel, Taj Gibson. Right. They've signed Evan Fournier for a 4-year, $78 million deal. They've signed Julius Randle to a 4-year, $117 million deal. They've signed Jalen Brunson to a 4-year, $110 million deal. They've traded out of the first round of a draft. They drafted Deuce McBride and Jericho Sims. Do you know what the Pacers have done? You know who they added on their roster since that day?
Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton for a fucking stat pad center in Domantas Sabonis,
Yes, sir.
who has the same numbers as Julius Randle.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we didn't fucking make a move for Fox for Halliburton. They got Halliburton on the cheap, by the way, on the cheap. Okay,
and the Knicks
they got Chris Duarte, and then in the fall, because they got that player, they were investing in that level of winning, which was nothing. They fired their coach, okay, and then they got Benedict Mathurin, who literally in year one is showing me more than RJ has shown me to believe in anything.
Sorry, State. Sorry, brother State. Yeah, absolutely.
So, bro, when you commit to an actual vision, it's not like it takes 8 years to do this. Literally, the Pacers have the same record as us.
Let me ask you a question. The chat. I want everybody in the chat to comment on this. I want Ari and Poppa Left to comment on this. If we have another garbage season, if we get another middle round pick, free agency doesn't exist no more. Nobody wants to trade for our players. Where do we go from here? How do we bring guys into this team? What do we do outside of the draft? Where is the end game?
What I think and what's going to happen are two different things. So I would simply just blow this shit up right now. But
what do you think? They won't do that, obviously. But what do you
I think? Listen, man. I think if they lose the next 4 games in a row, I mean, come on, dude. They're going to be in a position where they're going to have to do something, dude. This is not going to stand. Here's the difference.
Oh, goddamn lucky. If
today's world, bro, back in the day, before the fucking social media, it would be Knicks fans with the fucking bag over their head, just basically being like, fire fucking Dolan, right? Fire fucking Dolan, right? But today, it's fucking Twitter, and it's fucking YouTube, and it's fucking Facebook, and it's Discord. If we all go and make it different and say this is ridiculous and put all this pressure on it, you know, these media outlets, they get clicks and they spread it and it gets to Dolan, which you can't ignore it. There's gonna have to be a change. I refuse to believe.
Nah, bro, but here's the thing.
It's gonna happen.
As long as you could say that they are 6-8, 1 game out of the 10th seed, none of that shit is gonna matter, bro. Because all you gotta do, guys, all you gotta do, stop disagreeing with me because you know I'm true. All you have to do is win a couple games and keep your head 3 games under 500, beat the shitty teams in the East, and then you're right there with the Wizards. You're right there with the Raptors. You're right there with all these teams in the 7th, 8th, 9th seed, and you'll be fine. And you know I'm telling the truth.
Knicks fans gotta wake up, man. Poppa Left.
They're not. They're lying. Jay, they're lying. They're lying. Knicks fans who are angry right now and want to do a rebuild, they're lying. They are lying, Jay. They don't have the patience to sit for a win and not finger themselves.
Bro, listen, bro, the Pacers rebuilt the whole team in 2 years, right? They buckled down, and the Pacers had a pretty good team. I'm looking at the entire NBA. You know how many teams have done that? The Raptors have done that. Cleveland has done that. Detroit is doing that right now. OKC that just watched us the other day is doing it. The Pelicans did it. Portland, we thought Portland was dead in the water. They got Shaedon Sharp. They got Simmons. They got Jeremy Grant. They got a team. They put a team right back. Damian Lillard again.
Spurs, Dejounte Murray.
We thought they were done. Denver is consistently good.
Utah did it.
Utah retooled, but we're not expecting Utah to be a top 3 seed in the West, and they came out guns blazing. Yo, the Knicks fans got to get a grip.
Why, Jay? You know why? What are they happy with, Jay?
Mediocrity, crumbs, bro. They have bullshit. crumbs year after year.
Can we stop? Can we hold Jalen Brunson accountable to his own level of success and not to Shane Larkin? Can we hold RJ Barrett to his own level of success and not Kevin Knox?
He shouldn't be a Knick. He's wasting his time. I keep saying
That's
this.
why I was against the signing. It's not that he
In
wasn't
New
bad.
York, kid photo shoots, not win NBA games, brother.
It's crazy, dude.
Want to win NBA games, you stay with the MVP candidate. You don't come play around with Julius Randle.
He wants his own team. And then Julius Randle thinks it's his team. And now RJ Barrett's the newly paid man. So now he thinks it's his team. And then Thibs is like, no, this is actually my team. And then Obi and fucking Cam and fucking IQ are like, dude, I'm trying to fucking make a career. I'm trying to get paid. Let me fucking play. And of course it's going to be this. But listen,
dog.
It's the fans.
Jalen Brunson situation. I know he got fans out there. Knicks fans love him. I understand. You understand? He got two of the people that he loves the most paid. He got his best friend paid at a guaranteed roster spot, and he got his no good daddy a coaching job next to Thibs. Loves got
bro.
Paid. It's all nepotism.
We're money, bro. Of course.
Paid. Everybody in that CAA, Rose House is getting paid.
The boys' club. It's a boys' club.
It's a boys' club, and they abuse.
I don't want to say who she is, okay, but it rhymes with Beyonce, okay. My Beyonce, she works all day in a boys' club.
Yo, listen. Here's the situation. This is the way I see it. All right. The reason why Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau and all these guys get a fucking pass and why they could put out a fucking 38 and 40, whatever, 4-win team, right, and still not get fired. It's because James Dolan knows that half the fucking fan base are not real fucking fans and they just want to be entertained and they want to like shake their ass and just fucking have something to talk about, take some fucking pictures at the Madison Square Garden or whatever, that they don't really give a fuck, man. And he knows that he can get away with it.
Got content creators too that got the same, that you know, that really want to see the team like win these meaningless.
That's why we exist. This is why we. This is
but it's like even Macri, right? Macri literally put out hashtag fired Thibs today off of a phony Isaiah Hartenstein Reddit post. Like everybody's turning. Everyone's turning.
Yeah.
Turning to the place I fucking stood my flag in the ground 2 years ago, but it's neither here nor there. But this is the situation, bro.
It's trending now. You could copy the toxic takes, go along with it. It's all good because the Knicks suck.
The same takes you saw on the timeline, bro. We had those takes literally for months and years.
Years.
And it's like we would be called fucking miserable. Bro. And the best part is this has nothing to do with wins or losses. It has nothing to do with it.
Bro, it doesn't take much to rebuild a team properly. It takes a commitment. If you can't play this, we're gonna draft and develop and win at the same time. It doesn't make sense. Ben Mathurin wasn't a top 3 pick in the draft. He came out 7, and you got the rookie of the year 7.
I was told it was a 3-person draft.
Yeah, Shaden Sharp, the same thing.
I was told
you hired a good scouting department. Put your scouting department to work. Tear down the roster as it is now. Trade Evan Fournier. Trade Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose has no interest in playing for the Knicks no more.
Oh my God, we haven't even spoken about that, bro. Derrick Rose. Hold on.
I gotta shout out some people first, because shout out to the mod, shout out Above the Rim, shout out to you, shout out Pastor Claudio, Jeremy. I don't know if you're a mod. Gotta Be Legends, definitely a mod. Suffering Knicks, the Banksy Knicks Wizards. Like this video. I don't know I don't even know why I didn't even say that. How many we need likes? Everyone hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this because we trying to hold everyone accountable and
I hold myself accountable, by the way.
Listen, D Rose has no interest
selfish
thing for this team to help the team win. D Rose, like Poppa Left said, abandoned this team. I couldn't believe it when I was watching that game and we had no idea where our starting point guard was. And he went back to Chicago. Then he comes back to the Knicks and Knicks fans completely forget about it. Half Knicks fans forget about it, and then half the Knicks fans don't even know what happened.
They weren't fans. Who are you talking about? They weren't even fans.
During COVID, right? He comes in and he complains in the paper that he doesn't know what his role is on the team. You're 34 years old, sir. You're 34 years old,
like
my brother.
Cristiano Ronaldo, same thing.
Hundreds of millions of dollars in the NBA and with Adidas. Yo, there's people to mentor. Quickly and Reddish and Obi have not gotten their first contract yet. Why are you even saying what kind of example you set in the press that you don't know what your role is? Don't worry about your role. The team is losing. There's young guys that you got to develop. Worry about the young guys. Be a mentor, bro. Say good mentorship shit in the press, not garbage about yourself and your minutes, bro. I'm not interested in seeing you play D Rose. You do nothing for me.
By the way, he got a shit rocked at the rim. He got a shit rocked at the rim a couple times.
D Rose does not look good, man. But this is it. First of all, there's no decision to make, right? Like you obviously can't rebuild, and compete now at the same time. We've known that. So to Poppa's point, he's saying that the team is more likely to trade IQ for a win now player or someone like that to try to actually make a push than rebuild. If that happens, oh my God.
They'll trade IQ, Cam Reddish, and another first round pick to get like a wing.
Oh my God, dude! If that happens,
who they get?
It's going to be the end of everything.
Who they get? Who they want to get?
I'm telling they'll get one of these guys. I don't know.
Here's an honest question: do you think these guys actually respect contracts? You think they respect long-term contracts? They don't. You know how like some regimes don't care about the contract that they sign because they figure they won't be there anyway. Do you think these guys respect what they set us up for? Or
no, I think Leon Rose puts all of his Knicks checks in Bitcoin.
It doesn't matter because he made $300 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like his shit is just fucking play money, and he doesn't think he's getting fired, bro.
Dude, we have to demand better because a lot of people don't know how basketball works, dude. They think like, oh, you win 40 games and you win 45. You go first round, second round. That's how they think. A lot of these people don't know. They're new fans, right? They don't know. But like, listen, you have to. There's no choice. You have to. There's nothing you can do. You have to tear it down. So whether you're going to do it now or you're going to do it next year, but you have to do it because all that's gonna. If they don't do it and they make a win now move and they really build around. First of all, how are they going to even do that? They have all their cap space tied into fucking 3 mid players.
They're going to have to make a very, very uncomfortable move.
How are they going to do that? Dude,
they're either going to have to admit. They're either going to have to admit. There's 3 ways you could do it. There's 3 ways you can do it. You can admit you were wrong in giving Julius Randle that deal and attach a pick to it. You can use Jalen Brunson for a year and then trade Jalen Brunson and get picks back.
Never happened.
That will never happen, right? Here are your options. Or you can look at RJ and say, all right, let's see if another team wants him and we'll get picks back for him. Because that's the only way you're really going to shake up the shit.
No, I'm moving Randle by I'm moving Randle by any means necessary because I think removing Randle unlocks Obi and RJ. RJ just as much as Obi. I think it unlocks both of them. If I have to sacrifice a pick,
he's standing in the way, bro.
If I have to sacrifice a pick, then so fucking be it at this time. But I think that you could like, why are the Knicks not doing that Russell Westbrook deal right now? Just get him and cut him. Why are they not doing that? This is fucking crazy, man. This is the thing, dude. This is crazy. You have to pick a door.
I don't think
you have to rebuild. Period.
I don't think anybody wants Julius Randle, bro.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, I literally think a pick is not going to do it.
It's not enough, bro. It's not even worth the dollars on your
4 years, bro. 4 years.
It ain't worth
it.
He's calling players only meetings to do what?
The only way he gets traded is when he gets to that final year of the deal, and he's an expiring, bro. We're stuck, man. This is it.
All right. Let's cap this. Let's cap the night, man.
All right. Well, first shout out to everyone in the chat. Definitely like, subscribe, and share. Shout out to all the mods. Shout out to everybody in here. Shout out to our sponsors.
J. Nicky.
Shout out to our sponsors, winesbymoselle.com. 10% off and free shipping. Winesbymoselle.com, #ToxicBoys. Shout out to everyone else in here. So we'll do a final thoughts. Jay, I'll start with you. Final thoughts, and then I'll move it to Poppa, and then I'll close it out.
I'm to a point now, Knicks fans. My only hope for this team and this organization is for them to fail, for them to lose games. Unfortunately, I don't want to see any type of winning. I'm rooting for losses every night. Sorry, call me a bad fan. Call me whatever you got to call me. We got to get rid of Tom Thibodeau first. Leon Rose has to eventually go. And then we have to get serious about getting into the draft and picking a direction with young players. I'm not going to get into our schedule and how if we're going to win games this week, what's going to happen after. I don't want to see any type of winning. I want to have some kind of outlook for the future. I've said this over and over again in the last couple podcasts. I was a happier fan in 2019 when I had $80 million in cap space and a top 3 pick guaranteed in my cupboard because I knew that I had an outlook for the future. At this point, everything's so up in the air. We have an untradeable player in Julius Randle. Nobody wants him. You can't tell me another GM in the NBA wants him and would invest in him with his attitude and with his back. Brunson is a good player, but they're not trading him. And then RJ's mid. Nobody's really giving anything up for RJ as well. So you're stuck with those 3 max contracts. You have Obi, Cam, Quick, Grimes that you have to either let go or pay in the next 2 years or so. That's another conundrum of garbage. We got to figure out what these guys are. This team situation is the grimmest it's been in a very long time.
I disagree with that.
Picks that we have in the cupboard because there's so many decisions to make, good or bad, and there's so many contracts we got to get off of and selfish plays on this team. So that's all I see, man. Go ahead, Pop Left.
Let's keep it.
All right. No, I got you. I disagree. I think that the team is mad. Is the most maddening place it's been in because they have a path to normalcy and they refuse to cut ties with a stupid plan that contradicts the assets that's in their organization. They have to get rid of these 4 people who have nothing to do with rebuild. Tom Thibodeau, Julius Randle, Derrick Rose, and Evan Fournier. Those 4 people have nothing to do with the Knicks getting better as an organization in order to win a championship.
Don't even say those words yet. We got a long way to go, brother.
They have no business being on our organization as they cannot on their best day make us better as a team. If you are rooting for those 4 individuals, you must not care about this team actually getting better.
Absolutely.
The only players that I care about are the players that are going to be valued universally by 30 NBA teams. Right now, that list is getting shaky and thinner by the minute. But here is the guys that I can tell you, in theory, have the most universal value across the NBA and who are not being committed to by our team. Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, Jericho Sims, Deuce McBride. Find a fucking way, and Cam Reddish. Find a fucking way to get those 6 people in your everyday rotation. Get rid of the 4 bozos in Thibs, Fournier, Rose, and Randle who have nothing to do with this team's future. And then you can have actually one of the brightest spots you've been in 20 years. Or you could fuck it all up.
All right. Well, I think that was pretty much perfect. I kind of very agree with exactly what you said. I'd throw Mitch in there also, but and I don't listen. The thing about Grimes, not the Grimes. The thing about Rose is like he doesn't take that. Like I just need Julius Randle off this team, man. That's the number one thing, bro. And Tom Thibodeau Tom Thibodeau. But to Thibs' credit, and here's how I'm gonna close that. To Thibs' credit, he's a terrible coach, but at least this year he's actually trying to do something new. The biggest problem, right, is that Thibs, Randle, and Leon Rose, they're stronger together than they are individually. So Leon Rose makes Tom Thibodeau's job extremely difficult because he has 11 players that deserve to actually play a game. Okay?
Guys, I got to go. I love y'all. I got to go.
All right. We'll see you. How do I do this? All right. Fucking guy just talks the entire episode, and then when he's done talking, he needs to fucking leave. Whatever. Basically, Leon Rose made Tom Thibodeau's job very difficult because he gave Tom Thibodeau 11 guys. All 11 guys deserve to play. It makes his job hard because there's obviously going to be people that are unhappy. right? That's going to cause problems in the locker room, and we see that happening right now, especially when there's the young guys with contracts. Tom Thibodeau has made the job really difficult for the players because he uses them terribly. He has no defensive scheme, and he doesn't play Obi Toppin any minutes, and he doesn't fucking run the offense through RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish, and they're making RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish and Obi Toppin's job very difficult, right?
Absolutely.
And Julius Randle basically is like him and his combination with him and Thibs, because he lets Randle do whatever the fuck he wants, it encourages the bad side of Randle to take over. That he thinks he's a boss. He thinks he's going one-on-one with KD.
No
and then
ability.
He fucking fucks it up. So it's all three. It's all of it together. It's a combination, right? And at the end of the day, who's the most responsible for that combination? The guy who fucking created that combination. It's Leon Rose's problem at this point, dude. He knows what the fan base feels like, right? He knows that Obi Toppin's worthy of playing 30 minutes a night. He knows that him and Randle are redundant pieces. He should know that moving Julius Randle would unlock Obi and unlock RJ, right? And also help Cam and give more and just clean the cap up, right? It's on him to do it or not. So why doesn't he do it?
Anybody in major media say anything about Leon Rose? I don't know if he has like a stranglehold on New York media, on sports media in general, being a CAA dude, but like they don't say anything negative about this cat,
dude.
Bro.
It's coming. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming, bro. Because as long as his team keeps on losing, bro, and I'm with you, dude. I listen. I want to see Obi and RJ go off for 35 apiece, and then Knicks lose by 1 in overtime. I'm down for that. But what I'm saying is, I need Julius Randle to go, and I need Tom Thibodeau to go. But if I need one of those two to go, I need Julius Randle gone because it's going to help the other players better, and he's harder to move. You could fire Tom Thibodeau tomorrow. You could fire him tonight. How are you moving Julius Randle? Explain that to me. This is why I get so fucking mad. Because I said fucking 2 years ago to trade this motherfucker.
At this point, bro, I don't even think it's possible. I think you got to get a coach in here that's going to edit his role and control him. And then, like I said last week, put these guys in meaningful games, in meaningful situations.
Dude, everyone knows our takes. Put these young guys in high impact moments.
Bro,
clear the books. Can't say it enough. It's not going to happen.
I would love to see Obi close out a game. I would love to see Cam close out a game. I would like to see RJ be more efficient again. I would like to see quick close out a game controlled. But it won't happen, man, because you got all these meat guys on this team, and you got the bed, them getting in bed with these vets with Fournier and Rose feeling like he's entitled to shit. Like, how do you feel like you're entitled to shit? You haven't won shit, Derrick Rose, first off. You gave up on half your teams. You got hurt in your prime. You really haven't done shit. To me, he's not even a Hall of Famer. Sorry, guys. Sorry, D-Rose fans. You got to be humble, man. You got to be the veteran leader on that team. If Taj is gone, you're the guy. You're the legend. So you can't get in the paper and say these things and expect the team to do well, man. But it's 9:01, brother. We gonna wrap it up?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. All right. So everyone, shout out to you guys, Jake D, Pastor Claudio, Smooth.
Subscribe, man. Hit like and subscribe every Tuesday. Toxic Tuesdays, man. We hold everybody accountable. No pom-pom waving, no ass shaking. This is the real takes are always here. We want to see this team be successful. We want to hold this organization accountable.
Right. Shout out to Eric, Be Easy, Al Diddy. And my last parting thoughts before I end this, you got to look at yourself in the mirror, Knicks fans, and decide whether you want better or you're satisfied with what we have. The reason why the front office and Dolan and all this stuff are enabled to put out this product is because the fans don't give them enough problems, and they don't hold it. You got to have some standards, right? I thought we're done with being the laughing stock of the Knicks. So let's all hope for the best, and we'll see you next.
Before you leave, everybody hit that like button and the subscribe button. Everybody go hit that like button. Hit that like button. You gotta support your boys, because this ain't a space, man. We get fed off these likes and these subscribers. So hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button, and then we'll see y'all next Tuesday. Peace, my brother Ari.
Peace, guys. Deuces.